Hi everybody in Slovenia. I'm Trevor Sorbie. I'm speaking from my Covent Garden salon in London. I've been asked to say a few words, and the only way I can think to try and inspire you is to give you an idea of my life. And when I say that, I came from nothing. My parents had no money. And basically it was a very, very basic life, and I had no idea what my future would be. But there's one thing in life that's important, and that is a desire to want to do something with your own life. I didn't want to be in a town that everyone was poor. I didn't want to be with young kids that were in gangs. I didn't want to be in that kind of atmosphere. So I decided to move to London, and that's, if you like, when my career started. I started with my father. He was a barber, and I was with him for 5 years. And then I quit hairdressing altogether. I got bored, actually, because it can happen. And basically I said to my mum and dad, I'd like to go back into hairdressing, but ladies hairdressing. So they sent me to a college, which cost them a lot of money in those days. And I did a 6-month course, and I came out, and the principal of the college said, Trevor, I can see something in you that's a little bit special. And I went, really? And he said, yeah. And so he sent me to a salon called Vidal Sassoon, and we are talking late 60s now, so it's a long time ago. But he was the man that was really, if you like, the leading hairdresser in London and the world, come to that. And that's when it all started for me. Now, the one message I want to say to you is this: learning is the most important thing that you'll ever do in your life. Now, I have no qualifications. I can't even spell very well, and I certainly can't do mathematics. I've got no idea about that. So it's not about what you've achieved. It's more about what you're going to achieve, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Now, I left Vidal Sassoon after 6 years, and then I went travelling because I think it's good for young people to travel. I'll say this about life, that there's no book that any teacher showed me that taught me about life. They tried to teach me, but I wasn't interested. I was much more interested in girls, to be honest. But as my job took me around the world, I learned more about life, going to different cultures, different cuisines, different mentalities, just a different world almost. And I learned from that a lot, and it's given me the most important information that any school could have taught me. I'm not saying school's bad, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is to get outside of where you are. When people say to me, what would you suggest a young hairdresser to do? My suggestion is to work in the best salon in your village, town, city, or wherever, and a company that will have inside education. And that's the most important part, is the education. I've worked for Toni and Guy, Vidal Sassoon, Frieda, and what I've done is to taken bits out of where I've worked and added them into what I feel and believe in, and turned it into Trevor Sorbie. Now, that's kind of how my life is, in a nutshell, has developed. And I've turned this company into a multi-million-pound company. I'm not a businessman. I don't want to be a businessman. I hate business, to be honest. But on that note, what's important is, if you're not very good at anything, and I'm not very good at most things, but if I'm not good at something, I get somebody that is good. So I've got a business manager, I've got an accounts manager, I've got people around me that could do the job necessary. My job was just to create new ideas. That was the best job in the world for me. So when people, and if any of you come to London, you'll see a different experience than probably most salons that most salons that you've been in your part of the world won't be like this. And I think this is a really good experience for anyone, because in London you don't have only the salon to learn from, but you've got all the cultures in the world live in London. It's a fantastic city, and I would highly recommend any and all of you at some point in your life to experience this city, because there's not many cities like this. It's so, multicultural. You can walk down the street and not hear an English voice, because there's so many other nationalities that live here and stay here. So my encouragement to you is to, if it's possible, to travel as much as you can. If you can come to London, that would be fantastic. You're more than welcome to come and visit our salon and spend time here. So all I can say to you is good luck, and I wish you all what I wish myself, and that is a fantastic future. So thanks for listening, and hopefully see you one day.